place necessary framework for restructuring of the country. Court order free for robbing Rangers of penalty against Shooting Stars in Ibadan. The Archbishop of Province of the Niger Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Alexander Ibezim, has charged the legislator to uphold the democratic aspirations of the people by hearkening to their calls for restructuring the country. The prelate was speaking during a church service organized as part of activities marking the first-year anniversary of the 8th Anambra State House of Assembly at Awka, southeast Nigeria. Signature TV Awka Bureau Chief Ndu Okpaleze covered the event and filed this report.
Archbishop Ibezim said restructuring the country on regional basis has been one of the desires of most Nigerians, adding that lawmakers should make it happen in the spirit of Democracy Day we celebrate. He called on politicians to see politics as a means of service to the people and enjoined them to remain humble and humane. The Archbishop asserted that Anambra State is one family, irrespective of different political parties and varying political interests. He commended the 8th Anambra State Assembly for their harmonious coexistence with the existing arm of government.
Anambra State is not divided. We are one family, and any family that is not united, that family cannot move forward. Honorable Sonto, you are a good leader. The Lord will support you.
The Speaker, Anambra State House of Assembly, Som Tochukwu Udeze, in his speech on the occasion, revealed that commonality of papers of members led to the passage of 14 bills, out of which 12 have been assented by Governor Chukwuma Soludo. He expressed delight that members were mindful of their people by embarking on constituency projects and empowerment programs that were impactful.
Vision to be the best state legislature in Nigeria, championing the interests of people of Anambra through effective, accountable, independent, and responsible representation. Our mission is to effectively represent the Anambra and now quality laws and ensure judicial use of state resources in order to promote the well-being of our people. This cardinal agenda drives the soul and spirit of each assembly to diligently discharge our constitutional responsibilities of lawmaking, representation, and oversight.
Governor Chukwuma Soludo, who was represented by his deputy, Dr. Onyekachi Ibezim, remarked that his government will continue to upgrade the living standards of Ndi Anambra through international multifaceted development approaches.
We believed in ourselves, and here we are celebrating today. It's like the Archbishop has charged us to remember that we have no other states than Anambra State. We may have our political divides, we may have our religious divides, but as a people, we must remember that Anambra is first. So we want to congratulate you, congratulate all of us, and this is a celebration to beckon on us for more work.
The State Chief Judge, Justice Onochie Anyachebelo, and high-ranking judicial officers, as well as traditional rulers, religious leaders, and party chieftains, graced the occasion.
The Abia State House of Assembly has threatened to terminate its contract with Innocent Vehicles Manufacturing Limited for allegedly reneging on agreement to produce vehicles for all the lawmakers. The Speaker, Emmanuel Emerua, issued a threat during an interaction with the media in Umuahia as part of activities to mark the one-year anniversary of the 8th Assembly. Emerua regretted that members who were yet to have their vehicles 1 year after their inauguration said the preference for IVM vehicles was informed by Governor Alex Oti's quest to promote local content. He said the company had received all the money required to produce vehicles for assembly members, but had defaulted more than 10 times. Given a scorecard of the 8th Assembly in 1 year, the Speaker said that it had passed 5 out of 15 bills, made 40 resolutions, and received 46 petitions and 55 motions. He said that the 24-member 8th Assembly, which was inaugurated on June 15, 2023, had been very peaceful and enjoying a good relationship with the executive. Nigerian nurses have been admonished to see themselves as active partners with other health professionals in advancing the quality of health services in the country. A professor of nursing and health services management at the University of Nigeria, Professor Ijeoma Okoronkwo, gave the advice while delivering the 206th inaugural lecture of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, titled Nurses from Silence to Voice in the Nigerian Healthcare System, the Journey of a Transformational Nurse Academic. Signature TV correspondent Ebenezer Odo witnessed the inaugural lecture which took place at the University of Nigeria, Enugu campus.
In his citation on the inaugural lecturer, the Dean Faculty of Health Sciences, Professor Charles Eze, likened Professor Ijeoma Okoronkwo to the ex-footballer Diego Armando Maradona, saying that she has paid her dues in nursing education in Nigeria.
Ijeoma Okoronkwo, like Diego Maradona and Pelé, who paid their dues in the game of football, who undoubtedly are the best footballers ever. Professor Ijeoma Okoronkwo has paid her dues as a professor of nursing and health services management.
In her lecture, Professor Okoronkwo explained to her audience, made up of the academia, students, and captains of industry, that it is crucial for nurses to recognize the significance of adding their voice and constantly strive for excellence in patient care, education, leadership, and policy advocacy in Nigeria. Professor Okoronkwo, who reviewed the various stages of the nursing profession from 1854 in the time of Florence Nightingale, told her listeners that nursing is not an on-the-job training profession. She stressed the need to reposition the nursing profession in the country for the realization of sustainable development goals to produce nurses that will function to meet emerging challenges and health needs of the populace in the 21st century.
Nurses to work closely with other professionals to provide comprehensive and high-quality service. It's no longer the time to work alone. We have to collaborate with others if we must lead the healthcare service.
Some lecturers of the university who attended the lecture said nursing is all about caring, adding that there is an aspect of nursing in everyone.
In fact, if you look at human beings, see that each and every one of us, there is an aspect of nursing in us. That aspect of caring for the next person is what nursing is all about. But we now want to professionalize it, bring it to the place where it be generally acceptable, where it can help people.
Nigerian nurses are very well trained. Make no mistake about it. The Nigerian nurses, the Nigerian doctors, the Nigerian lab scientists, they are well trained.
It was a passion, it was a profession that I so desired. I have been in this profession, I am going to be a nurse, and I'm ready to impact to other young nurses.
You have a lot of hurdles to pass through. That's why I don't have nursing establishments at private level.
No doubt, nursing profession has emerged as a formidable force not only in Nigeria, where there is a growing demand for nursing trainees, but also outside the shores of the country. In Enugu, Ebenezer Odo, Signature TV News.
The Imo State House of Assembly has called on Governor Hope Uzodimma to approve the establishment of a College of Nursing at Iyishi in Ikedu local government area of the state. The call was contained in a resolution passed by the House on Thursday following a motion sponsored by the member representing Ikedu State constituency, Mr. John Leoba Ihoha. Ihoha said that the present administration's insurance policies and essential medical equipment had led to an improvement in the quality of health services in the state. He also said that the 305 primary health centers needed adequate manpower to function effectively. The lawmaker therefore said that there was an urgent need to train more nurses and health professionals to augment those already in training at existing nursing and health colleges in the state. The Speaker, Mr. Chike Olengbe, thereafter ruled in favor of the prayers following the unanimous voice vote in favor of the motion. An appeal court sitting in Port Harcourt has directed all parties involved in the appeal filed by members of the River State House of Assembly loyal to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike to maintain status quo pending the hearing of a substantive suit. The 27 pro-Wike lawmakers, led by Martins Amehule, who had defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC, had gone to court to stop moves to declare their seats vacant. The three-man panel of the appeal court, which sat virtually on Friday, adjourned the hearing of a substantive suit to June 20th, 2024. The appeal panel advised the parties against taking any actions that would affect the main matter and further directed that a notice of appeal should be served on the defendant before the next adjourned date. Amehule, on behalf of 26 others, is challenging the decision of the River State High Court, which vacated their seats and restrained them from sitting or carrying out any legislative functions. The State High Court had also affirmed Victor Okojambo as the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly and held that all the laws made by Amehule and 26 others are null and void. Okojambo argued that the 27 defected lawmakers have lost their seats at the State Assembly following their defection, hinging his argument on Section 1091G of the Nigerian Constitution. A federal high court on Friday ordered the Kano state government to pay 10 million naira in damages to the 15th Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, for breaching his fundamental human rights. Ado Bayero, through his counsel and senior advocate of Nigeria, M.L. Yusufari, had filed a motion ex parte dated May 27, seeking the court to restrain the state government from arresting, intimidating, or infringing on his rights. The other respondents are the Attorney General of the Federation, the Attorney General, Kano State, the Nigeria Police, the Inspector General of Police, Commissioner of Police, Kano, the State Security Service, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, and Nigerian Air Force. Delivering judgment, Justice Simon Amobede described the order given by Governor Abba Yusuf directing the police to arrest the emir without any lawful justification as a threat to his fundamental human rights, as guaranteed under Section 35.1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Amobede observed that the action of the governor in forcing the applicant into house arrest and preventing him from going freely about his lawful businesses constitutes a flagrant violation of his fundamental right to freedom of movement. Dangote promises to crash fuel prices when its fuel hits the market. And 3 dead as gunmen attack bank and police station in Abuja. Join us after the break. The chairman of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, says its $20 billion, 650,000 barrels per day refinery will crash the price of fuel, just as it reduced the price of diesel in Nigeria. Dangote disclosed this at a recent Afri-Exim Bank annual meeting and Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum in Nassau. The Bahamas explained how the price of diesel fell from 1,700 naira to 1,200 naira when its diesel flooded the Nigerian market. He noted that its refinery currently has 4.78 billion liters of storage capacity for refined petroleum products. He observed that with currency now back up to about 1,500 naira per dollar, the price of diesel is still below 1,200 naira, describing it as a big improvement. Dangote said the country does not have strategic reserves in terms of petrol, which is very dangerous, but said his company is adding another 600 million litres to the existing 4.78 billion litres capacity. Dangote alleged that the reason why international oil companies refused to sell crude oil to his refinery was that they did not want him to succeed. Recall that Dangote refinery recently shifted the date to commence supply of fuel to July 10th. Three persons were killed while one sustained injuries when a mining pit collapsed at Basakoa, a village in Adun community of Niger State. The Director General of Niger State Emergency Management Agency in SEMA, Abdullahi Baba Ara, who confirmed the incident, said the incident occurred on Thursday and involved local miners who were said to be carrying out mining activities illegally. The incident is coming barely 1 week after a mining pit collapsed in Kalgur community, killing one person and trapping 14 persons who were still in the pit. Gunmen suspected to be bandits have attacked the Abaji Divisional Police Headquarters in Abuja and robbed a branch of a commercial bank in the area. The assailants, numbering about 15, invaded the bank and the police facility simultaneously on Thursday evening. A police officer and two of the suspects were killed during the attack. The police public relations officer in the Federal Capital Territory, Josephine Ade, who confirmed the incident on Friday, said operatives of a command in a combined operation with the military engaged the armed men in a gun duel leading to the casualties. Ade added that three suspects, including the leader of the criminal gang, identified simply as Osman, were apprehended by the security agents. Angry mobs in the area set the body of one of the deceased suspects ablaze. A driving institute, the Professional Driving and Safety Academy, says it is organizing a free road safety education for drivers and riders to reduce road traffic crashes. The project coordinator, Jide Owatumise, said this in a statement in Abuja, that the academy would also organize best driving competitions for drivers and riders to improve their performance. He said the objective of the event was to promote road safety education among all categories of road users for sustained safety on Nigerian roads. This, according to him, conforms with the UN Decade of Action for Road Safety 2021 to 2030, Nigeria Road Safety Strategy 2021 to 2030, and the resolutions of the National Council on Transportation, December 8, 2022. Owatumise said that the essence of the competition and the free road safety education was to address causative factors relating to road mishaps in the country, complement laudable efforts in road traffic crash reduction by relevant stakeholders and other well-meaning Nigerians. Several national and global research reports have affirmed that over 80% of road traffic crashes are caused by human factors, while over 70% are attributed to drivers. A talented Nigerian singer, Blessing Jimbroma, has declared her intention to break the Guinness World Record 105 hours in a singing marathon event. Jimbroma told the News Agency of Nigeria in an interview in Abuja that she would target to surpass the current record of 105 hours singing marathon held by an Indian singer, Sunil Wagner, with a new record of 144 hours of singing. She said her aim was not only to etch her name in the annals of music history, but to inspire aspiring singers and performers to dream big and push beyond their limits. Jimbroma said successfully breaking the record would inspire countless young Nigerians to pursue their dreams, no matter how ambitious they might seem. She said the marathon, scheduled for July 27 to August 2nd, was open to the public at 9 a.m. daily at Unique Park Gardens, Sky Memorial, Zone 5, Abuja. The Catholic Bishop of Nsukka Diocese in Enugu State, southeast Nigeria, Most Reverend Godfrey Ona, has criticized the current system that produces today's leaders, which robs the country of its best and brightest. Speaking at the burial ceremony of Senator Ayogweze in his hometown, Enugu-Ezike, the bishop emphasized the urgent need for a more efficient and effective process to ensure the emergence of symptomatic for the people.
That in Nigeria we celebrate democracy on a day that democracy was denied. And I want to emphasize that although no human institution is perfect, the system of government we call democracy in Nigeria is an abuse of words. Because neither the institutions of democracy, nor the organs, nor even the process or the conditions that make democracy possible are present in this country.
Funeral service for Ayogweze took place at Umida Primary School, open field in Enugu-Ezike, located in Igweze local government area. Guests at the event remembered the late politician and journalist, Senator Ayogweze.
Interest to him, Ayogweze will take it. So I like such people because it's better I know where you are. If you are for me, I know. If you are not for me, I know. So that's Ayog. Instead of people come and show you that with you and turn back, that is not for him.
His legacy is that he's a model for any of us that you can aspire. And by the grace of God, and by luck, and by the benefit of people you meet in your life, you can become.
Well, as a senator, and he was even the Senate spokesperson. Everybody knew that Ayogweze was in the Senate. And in the senatorial zone, which is Enugu North and Nsukka, his impact was felt.
Among the notable dignitaries in attendance were the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Osai, Senator K. Ezie, Minister of Science and Technology, Uche Naji, former Governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi. Other dignitaries at the burial include a former Deputy Governor of Enugu State, Okechukwu Itanyi, Senator Chukwu Kautazi, President of Signature TV, Vin Martin Obiora Ilo, Chief Everest Naji, Managing Director of Raban Stores, Rob Anwatu, Igwe of Ugurute, Ekene Obona, and many others. Ayogweze, who died on April 25, 2024 in Abuja at the age of 65 after a prolonged illness, had a distinguished career in journalism, serving as an editor at both the Guardian newspaper and Newswatch magazine before venturing into politics. Until his death, Ayogweze was an Enugu State representative at the Revenue Allocation, Mobilization and Fiscal Commission and a member of the board of the Nigerian Ports Authority. He also served as chairman of the Senate Committee on Works, following his tenure as chairman of the Senate Committee on Information and Media. South Africa's Democratic Alliance reaches agreement on unity government. And in sports, Super Eagles of Nigeria to get a foreign coach ahead of AFCON qualifiers and remaining FIFA World Cup qualifying matches. Stay with us. South Africa's Democratic Alliance, DA, has reached an agreement on joining a government of national unity with the African National Congress after 2 weeks of negotiations. Once unthinkable, the deal between two sharply antagonistic parties is the most momentous political shift in South Africa since Nelson Mandela led the ANC to victory in the 1994 elections that marked the end of apartheid. The ANC lost its majority for the first time in an election on May 29th and has spent 2 weeks locked in intensive behind-the-scenes talks with other parties, which came down to the wire on Friday morning as a new parliament was convening. DA leader John Stevenson said in a televised address on Friday that Government of National Unity's presidential candidate will come from the largest party inside the grouping, being President Cyril Ramaphosa. Two smaller parties, the socially conservative Inkatha Freedom Party and the right-wing Patriotic Alliance, would also take part in the unity government. President Volodymyr Zelensky says India will send a high-level delegation to an international summit in Switzerland on Ukraine this weekend, after meeting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Italy on Friday. The leaders, who met on the sidelines of a Group of 7 summit, discussed trade, expanding ties and preparations for the summit, which Ukraine hopes will be attended by around 100 countries and organizations. Zelensky, in a statement on the Telegram app after the meeting, thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for sending a high-level delegation to the summit. The bodies of 45 Indians who died in a fire in a labor housing facility in Kuwait were flown to India on Friday as bereaved relatives and experts urged New Delhi to do more to protect the lives of those who work abroad and send remittances home. An electrical short circuit is likely to have caused Wednesday's fire in the housing facilities in Mangav, a coastal city south of the capital Kuwait City. The Indian workers were among the 49 people who perished, while a further 33 are being treated in hospitals. Bereaved families waited at the airport to receive the bodies of their loved ones, whose coffins were placed with photographs of the deceased on separate tables in the cargo complex of the airport. 23 of the 45 victims were from the southern Indian state of Kerala, and its chief minister, Pinarayi Vijayan, called the accident the biggest tragedy. The board of the Nigerian Premier Football League, NPFL, has stepped down the central referee in the all-important March Day 36 clash between Shooting Stars and Rangers International in Ibadan. A match played on Wednesday night in Ibadan saw Rangers International's unbeaten run come to an agonizing end. Shooting Stars' Christian Piagbara scored the decisive goal in the first half, but the game was marred by the controversial decision by the central referee, who denied Rangers a clear penalty in the second period. According to the NFF Referees Committee, the referee, Bashir Saidu, failed to identify and properly consider the challenges for the ball, leading to an ignored penalty situation. This decision has added another twist to the NPFL title race, as Rangers International, the league leaders, have dropped crucial points in their quest for the championship. Shooting Stars, on the other hand, have extended their impressive home unbeaten streak in front of a lively 10,000-strong crowd in Ibadan. The NPFL's swift action against the referees underscores the league's commitment to ensuring fair play and maintaining the integrity of the competition. The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, says it will employ an expatriate technical advisor for the Super Eagles in the coming weeks ahead of AFCON qualifiers and remaining FIFA World Cup qualifying matches. The decision is contained in a communique issued on Thursday in Abuja at the Federation's Executive Committee hybrid meeting. The board expressed displeasure with the poor attitude of some of the players to the national assignment and unanimously decided in favor of a more robust scouting program of outstanding Nigerian eligible players from across the four corners of the universe who can add tremendous value to the team. The Executive Committee apologized to Nigerians for the dismal output and subsequent very poor returns of the senior men national team, Super Eagles, in 4 out of 10 matches in the ongoing qualification series of the 2026 FIFA World Cup finals. Super Eagles head coach Finidi George has come under heavy criticism following the team 1-1 draw with South Africa in Rio and 2-1 loss to Benin Republic in the World Cup qualifiers. The result leaves the Super Eagles with just 3 points out of a potential 12. Central defender Mats Hummels will leave Borussia Dortmund immediately, Bundesliga club said on Friday, ending a partnership that stretched back to 2008 with a 3-year spell at Bayern Munich. Hummels' departure comes a day after head coach Edin Terzic left the Champions League's finalist. He said it was a huge honor and joy to have played for Dortmund for that long and to have followed the path almost entirely from 2008 with the club in 13th place at the time in January 2008 to what Borussia Dortmund is today. 35-year-old Hummels, who did not make the cut for Germany's Euro 2024 squad, despite a strong season that saw Dortmund reach the Champions League final before losing to Real Madrid, had 2 spells with a Roar Valley outfit. It also played in the 2013 losing Champions League final to Bayern. Hummels initially joined on loan from Bayern Munich in 2008 before signing a permanent deal and staying until 2016, when he switched back to Bayern and returned to the team in 2019 after a 3-year spell in Munich. Hummels, a 2014 World Cup winner with Germany, won 2 league titles and 2 German Cups in Dortmund, including the 2012 domestic double, but had a strained relationship in recent months with Texik. In a refugee camp in eastern Congo, where children have known little but conflict, a modest arena for cultivating peace of mind has emerged. Once a week, the displaced youngsters living at the Focus Congo camp in Kibati learn the strategic board game from the players of a Soga Club chess team, a group of young enthusiasts from nearby Goma. The Chess in the City initiative, founded by 24-year-old Akili Bashige Luwenda, aims to use the cerebral game to provide an outlet and teach critical thinking to children traumatized by decades of violence in the unstable region. Luwenda, who said he was born into the war, which has lasted for more than 3 decades, said it was possible for adults to bear it, but not for the younger ones who want to break the vicious circle of violence. Lacking even tables, the makeshift outdoor chess classes see the boards covered in a thin layer of plastic, simply placed on the desk as the coaches teach the children how the pieces move and watch them apply the lessons through practice matches. The focus and concentration on the children's faces is a world away from the insecurity that has marred their young lives in a region plagued by militia violence and ethnic tensions. Claude Bewenge, director of the Focus Congo Association running the camp, said the chess program has transformed the daily life of children who were once sheltered, playing dangerous games. That's the news at this hour. I am Barry Kumo Ado. Thanks for joining us.